Yeah, I'm on my weird way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophy. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, I'm on my weird way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophies. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, killing my verses, living my purpose. Yeah, killing my burdens, giving my service. Yeah, I had to pray, I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot, I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, streaming live on the Gorilla Cross app, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live. We are everywhere, and GorillaCross.com. Listen, man, a lot of NBA trades today. I'm your host, Quan59, and we have a lot to talk about. We are broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm excited to be here today, man. It's been an exciting trade deadline, so this whole show is pretty much going to be NBA trades. We don't have much else to talk about in sports today. This is like a holiday for NBA fans. Got my man just in time, Josh Williams, in the building. What's good, man? Fresh new cut?
No, that's coming. That's coming.
You look like a little teddy bear.
No, I look rather disheveled. Look a little homeless.
I was going to change your name to Curious George. You got the Curious George cut going on.
Tragic.
It looks good.
Thank you.
I like it, man.
No.
You should grow it out like that.
No. The braid phase is gone. That has come and gone.
You could give Kevin Durant and Evan Fournier part of your hair.
I mean, I can give up some hair.
Yeah.
You know, that is allowed. It's
Listen,
all right.
man. Would you donate your hair to Kevin Durant?
What would I? Now again, how much am I giving up? Where am I giving it from?
I mean, the top of your head, bro.
That's an important part.
I'm not gonna make you give pubes to. Anyways, we have a guest in the studio, and Josh is not on his best behavior.
All right.
Got my man from Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio every Tuesday, 6 p.m., every Saturday, 2 p.m., right here on Gorilla Cross. My man Dre Bailey in the building. What's good, Dre?
What's up with it, man?
Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, I got my, my glasses on, my Clark Kent's on.
The Clark Kents.
Yeah.
How you feeling about the trade so far? We're going to go list by list, trade by trade. A lot of stuff happening. Some people that didn't get traded, that thought they were going to get traded. A lot of teams didn't make any trades. I know there's still a few more minutes for it to maybe happen. Something, the trade deadline's over.
They're in.
But you have those things that still could rotate through the ways. But Dre, what do you think so far about this trade deadline? Sometimes it's a dud, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, but what do you think so far?
I mean, it's a lot of head scratching trades that was made today. A lot of trades that was made, and some trades that we thought was going down didn't go down. So
what's your most surprising trade that didn't go down?
Kyle Lowry staying with the Toronto Raptors. Everybody speculated him going to the 76ers, maybe Miami. A lot of Laker fans wanted Kyle Lowry to come over to Laker Town, but it didn't happen, man.
It was a nothing burger with cheese.
At all. So he looks like he's staying put in Toronto. I don't think that's a bad look for Toronto at all.
And I know those fans, they love Kyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can lose other pieces, but, Kyle has been with them from kind of the ascent to winning. They give up Kyle and get back nothing.
And we'll go around. Where do we rank Kyle Lowry as the greatest Raptor of all time? I put him in about number 2, right behind Bosh, probably.
And interesting.
Who would be 1?
I'm gonna say
Bosh.
You lost your mind.
I'm gonna say Kyle Lowry will be one. Say Kyle Lowry will be one. He got a chip.
He got a chip, and,
got a chip.
that's what puts him up there.
Vince will always and
but
forever.
there's a love and hate with Vince.
It's fine now. They've gotten past that now. Vince, like when I tell you in terms of what he did to that city, it will never be matched. Even the win, because like really Kawhi had the makings to be one, but he left. He was there for a year. You know what I mean? He got them the ring and he bounced. So he'll always be loved. He can always go back. People will always have love for Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, if I'm putting together a Toronto team, greatest Toronto team.
Oh, they got a team.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to put Kyle Lowry first, Vince Carter second, Bosh third,
Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady fourth, and maybe your boy
what
Damian.
about DeRozan? What about DeRozan?
Damon Stoudemire.
Damon Stoudemire.
But you got to put DeRozan over Stoudemire.
And then I got Alvin Williams coming off the bench.
Yeah, Boogie.
All right, now where do we put Junkyard Dog?
Hey, Jerome's
He's in there too.
Jerome's in there. Jerome's definitely
Listen, man,
he's
top 10.
definitely a six man
That
in
team,
there.
For
right,
sure.
that team right there was legit. That was like one of my favorite Toronto teams. That was my favorite Toronto team to watch.
Yeah.
The team that should have went.
Man, we would have beat the Bucks too. They would have beat the Bucks.
Was Charles Oakley on that team?
Yeah,
Yes, he was.
Yeah, Oakley.
Yes, he
that
was.
was a squad right there.
We could have beat the Bucks. It was really what it came down to in that series. AI just, you know what I mean? Like he just did enough. He always did enough. It wasn't like he was killing you, but he did enough where it was like if it's close to the end, he's gonna put somebody in position. And in that game 7, man, he had like 30 assists. I feel like.
I think when you're talking about the greatest Raptor, I think a lot of people get it misconstrued and kind of twisted when you say the greatest Raptor or the most favorite Raptor.
Maybe most influential.
Most influential. And
Yeah.
Vince Carter is the most favorite influential
Yeah.
Raptor of all time. Now, greatest Raptor,
Yeah.
you have to go with points, minutes, chips,
Yeah.
whatever. And that's when you would put Kyle Lowry at number one.
Yeah, because I mean him and DeMar, they went to what, 2
Yeah.
conference championship games?
Yeah.
So, you can't discredit that. You can't take that away. So I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear
I mean, my favorite Raptor of all time is Vince Carter.
You can't see anybody else.
Yeah.
True. Half man.
Half amazing.
There you go. Listen, man, we're talking NBA trades right here, right now on Unnamed Sports Show. We are live whenever we go live, basically. So just tune in. Listen, man, a lot going on. If you guys want to call in, hit us up 702-608-3259. That is the number. So call us up. Let us know how you feel about what your favorite team did in the NBA trades. My man Terrell Sells said that the Clipper trade, we've had him call in before about the Clippers, about Paul George. He said the Clipper trade was the worst trade of the trade deadline. Is that a Clipper fan being a little too emotional and not understanding you need a point guard? Rondo helped the Lakers win the championship last year. He played a huge role in them winning the championship.
I told you that in the beginning when you were like, I don't know about Rondo. I was like, that one makes me nervous.
And so they're trading him for Lou Williams, which is a Clipper fan favorite because he's been the most clutch player in the playoffs. Let's face it.
Sure.
Over Kawhi Leonard last year, over
Playoff P.
No, I can't call him that. Play awful P.
Yikes.
Yikes.
We retired his name last year after the playoffs.
We did.
But we had to pick the name that we're calling him for the rest of the season.
On this show, he is Play Awful P.
Play awful P. But what do you guys think about that trade? I think I don't know if it does a lot to boost them up a whole lot because Lou Williams was their heartbeat, especially off the bench. He's won 6th Man of the Year 95 times.
Legit.
Even in, the room with the ladies. He's always a 6th man. Anyway, but listen, he's going to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Where he'll love it out there because, there's no constrictions of COVID.
This is second stint in Atlanta.
Second stint in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about this trade? Rondo, straight up swap. It's a straight up swap, right?
Yeah. No.
Or was there a draft pick involved?
No. Atlanta received Lou Williams and 2 second-round picks and cash. The Clippers received Rondo. So, when you start to throw in the other things, this is literally a championship or bust type move. There's no other way to put it. Because they are giving you start throwing in cash. How
Yeah.
much cash we talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, like I said before, it really just comes down to how the move meshes. Rondo, he has championship pedigree.
Yeah.
No one else on that team outside of Kawhi has that. He immediately kind of ascends to probably the second strongest voice in the room outside of Kawhi Leonard. So that does try.
Wait. Outside of Kawhi?
Yeah.
Kawhi's quiet, bro. I think Rondo is immediately the loudest voice in that locker room, and it'll help Kawhi Leonard.
Well, I mean, in terms of who I am and standing in this league. No one can look past Rondo and say, well, you don't matter.
I feel you. He's won championships.
Yeah, Kawhi is above him just in terms of status because, hey, I've been the franchise player on multiple teams now, and I've won championships, I've won MVPs. So you can't really jump in front of him, but you're right. He'll probably be the most vocal person now. So I mean, for me, and he's gonna bring some defense. Lou, you're losing some offense. You're losing some punch off the bench, as Dre was mentioning before. But in terms of what it is for that team, he's gonna probably get people set up. He's gonna get Paul George more shots in the right spots. He's gonna get Kawhi Leonard better looks without having to fight. So those things make him more dangerous to me. But
yeah, I mean, it's a good trade for I think both teams, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think you get that veteran leadership, just like Josh said, as far as Rondo coming over to the Clippers, being able to be that voice, being able to be clutch in clutch situations, being able to control the tempo when it comes into a half-court set when playoffs start. He's gonna do something that the point guard that's over there now won't be able to do. And that's staying out of foul trouble and being able to get his guys in the right spot. I think what the Clippers lose is scoring.
Yeah.
Who is going to come off the bench right now for the Clippers and give you 15 plus points?
Every time.
Guaranteed.
Because you lost Montrezl Harrell. You know what I mean? So you already lost that.
Yeah.
Now you're losing Lou as well, and that was kind of really that was that 1-2 punch that made them just like, man, their bench is just as nasty as people's starters.
Yeah.
So,
can you name one person right now on the Clippers team who's going to come off the bench and give you 15 points?
No, I thought you were going to ask me to name a player. I was Zubats. No.
You know what I'm saying?
Wrong question.
I think they're going to lose there. But in the playoffs, I think they're going to gain in the playoffs.
Yes, when the bench is shortened, when everything shortens, and we need to get the right shot right here.
Yeah,
That's where those little moments, like I said, this is a trade for a championship.
Yeah.
You're making this type of move because you see sexiness isn't winning you games. It wins you games, but when it comes to the playoffs, sexy isn't always the best thing.
That's very true.
I'll take a 2-point win over a 15-point exciting loss.
Yeah.
So what did your favorite NBA team do? Let us know. Call in 702-608-3259 or chime in on the comments. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube Live also, so we'll be checking the comments on both of those. So let us know how you feel about your team, and we're going to give you the real, because I know sometimes the fans are emotional when it comes to your own personal team, So
I don't have a team.
We'll be exactly, and I think that's good sometimes as an analyst to be able to not have a team, so you can give a non-biased approach when these things happen. I'm a Laker fan. I can give a non-biased approach, but I rarely do because
you're always going to be biased.
Exactly, you're going to be biased,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
The main thing is that you're honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You have to be honest. You have to be honest about your biasy too.
Yeah.
You have to be honest about that.
Well, let me tell you what helps Atlanta. It gives Atlanta a scoring punch.
Yeah.
Now Lou Williams is going to be more freely to really be Lou Williams.
Let it
right?
loose. All
and
the
now
way.
you have young baby hair and Lou Williams.
Yeah.
Bro, giving you buckets. Bro.
Yeah.
So is young baby hair gonna get some other advice from Lou Williams? And is he gonna start dating 3 girls at once?
Hey, look. Probably he doesn't have I don't think he has the smoothness to pull that off. No. He's like we're light skinned. It's different. It's different over here. We make these kind of mistakes, okay? These are normal light skin mistakes. It's all right.
Light-skin mistakes.
It's all right. We're
You should
more...
have a show called Light Skin Mistakes. That should be the name of your show.
That's a good name for a show.
That is funny.
That's not a bad name.
I mean, I like it. Lou Williams, young baby hair. You got Hunter over there. You
And
got
wasn't
Capella over there.
Wasn't it Atlanta where Lou Williams got in trouble in the bubble?
Yeah, he did.
right?
For going
Yeah.
to the chicken shack.
Well, it was for chicken wings.
Bro,
The chicken wing strip
how
club.
far did you have to go, bro? Orlando there's plenty of chicken wing spots right here.
They were closed.
So I drove 9 hours north.
Anyways, go ahead, Dre.
Well, let me tell you what makes chicken wings better is the scenery. And, you know, so
Fair
sometimes
enough.
that scenery
Fair enough.
makes them chicken
Where
wings
you get
better.
the chicken wings is
Yeah.
just as important as the taste of the wings
Yeah.
themselves.
I think Atlanta is okay. I think they are better than they were because all
Yeah.
they lose is Rondo. I mean, that's veteran leadership, but it's not a lot of scoring.
Yeah,
that's
and
going on
what
over
and
there.
what are we doing on this team right now? When
Right.
it comes down to it, it's veteran leadership. But if it ain't, you know, what I mean, we're not where we
You don't
wanna
need
be.
that right now.
It's not necessary.
Not
You're
right
not a
now.
top 4 team in the East
Yeah.
to need that veteran leadership to
Yeah.
take you over the hump. You need
Yeah.
the young players that are, gonna get you there. And
Yeah.
that scoring punch off the bench, Lou Williams now in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean that's huge for them, and I think that's going to be a good thing for, like
Yeah.
you said, Trey young baby hair, to not have to carry the scoring load like that,
And
and,
I think-
maybe he could work on other aspects of his game that he needs to work on to further his career.
And I think Lou Williams is the last player right now that is playing in the league that's out of high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, LeBron, obviously.
No. Well, LeBron.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
Outside
he
LeBron,
came,
is there anybody else?
no, he came in with Monte Ellis.
Dwight.
Those two.
Dwight.
Dwight's in there, but does Dwight really count? Oh, yeah, he counts.
He does.
still.
He
Yeah,
counts.
does.
I'm
He
trying.
counts.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. But you're right. He's one of the last.
Yeah,
last
the
kind
last
of
of the
that
dying
regime.
breed of that
Yeah.
regime, man. But he's
Wow,
the
that's
oldest.
true.
He's the oldest of that crew because he came before LeBron James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came in with Monte Ellis. Him and Monte Ellis in high school, they were going at it, and
that's
Monte
right.
Ellis was supposed to be the better pro of the two. And
He was
Monte
for a
Ellis,
minute.
yeah, he was for a second. But longevity
Yeah.
always goes a big.
Well, you remember
big way
when
with me.
Monte got traded to Milwaukee? They were debating, do we trade Monte or this young guy, Steph Curry, that keeps getting hurt?
My goodness.
Yeah,
That was
and let me
a
tell you,
big
that was
debate.
legitimate
That was a
trade.
big debate right
Golden
there.
State Warrior fans booed the ownership for getting rid of Monte Ellis and
Yeah.
keeping Steph
He,
Curry.
he was
Yeah.
their player. I mean, he was averaging 25 a game probably at
Yeah,
that
he
time.
was
I mean, that
exciting.
was-
Had heart. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But dang, that is true.
Yeah.
And
All right,
remember-
let's
yeah.
run through some of these other
Okay.
other trades.
All right, Daniel Gafford going to the Wizards for Troy Brown and Mo Wagner.
Oh, you gave up Mo Wagner too.
Yeah. So it's Daniel Gafford and Chandler Hutchinson. They went to the Wizards. So
And then Troy Brown go to Chicago.
to Chicago. It was just straight up, no
Wow.
picks, no at least
That's a-
report.
And we've had
Great.
Troy Brown on the show,
Yeah.
during the off season. So I think that's a good look for him because he wasn't getting a lot of minutes in Washington. He's a good player. I like him.
He is. I mean, he was averaging double figures last year. So with minutes, he's not a bad player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of it's crazy whenever I'm on the message boards. I actually posted on the Wizards message boards our show today because so many Wizard fans do not like Troy Brown, never really cared for Troy Brown.
Wow.
And didn't feel he fit well. But when we spoke to Troy and we had him on the show, the Wizards always, they for whatever reason draft 1,000 small forwards.
Yeah, they do.
They just keep drafting
Yeah.
small forward after
Why?
small forward. I'm like, bro, we need other things outside of stretch threes. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, can we do something else? So, I mean, for Troy, like you said, I think that this is a good move because the Bulls, will get to it, got rid of Otto Porter and got rid of some other people. So this actually could be something that could work out for him in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may work out. It may work out for Troy. The fact that marketing is always hurt. He'll be able to get some minutes there, but at the same time, it's a new city, new opportunity for him.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be able to put his stamp on Chicago.
No more
Now
Go-Go
there
Mambo
was the
sauce.
rumors marketing for Lonzo Ball. Didn't happen. Lonzo didn't get traded. There was a lot of people looking at him. He wants a bigger contract after this season. He had
max contract.
He had a chance to sign. He had a chance to sign this summer and didn't sign the extension, betting on himself. And then Pelicans went and got 3 other point guards too. So now they're like, okay, bet on yourself, but your trade value, all your value is going down because of it. He's been balling though, but we've seen Ball in the family, who's the best in the family already. Who rookie
That
should have been
Melo.
rookie of the year if he didn't break his hand. He's what we thought Lonzo would be, right? That's the hype we thought Lonzo would be, and he just hasn't panned out to be that. He looks bored. where his brother looks like he loves the NBA more than any other player in maybe league history sometimes.
Yeah.
He's so happy on the court. But Lonzo didn't get traded. I thought it would have been a good move for the Bulls because Markkanen does get hurt so much. To me, he's up and down. But they didn't make that trade. He's a restricted free agent at the end of the season. So if he would have got traded, Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo, okay.
So if he would have got traded to a team he wanted to be at, then he probably would have signed an extension with them. But right now, he's staying with
The Pelicans.
the Pelicans. So we'll see what kind of offers he gets this summer. I'm still a fan of Lonzo, but he hasn't panned out the way he should have.
I think Lonzo initially, he may end up a Knick. I think that, Pelicans keeping him only solidified the fact that Lonzo may be a New York Knick next year. I really believe that.
Now with the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau, does he fit Tom Thibodeau?
Oh, because Lonzo's a good defender. He'll play good. He'll play good.
Is.
He'll
Okay.
play defense.
He fits their mold.
And getting him and Randall back together, he gets a better version of Randall. Did he play? Yeah, he played with Randall.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So, Randall is an all-star now. He's one of my favorite players to watch every time I watch the Knicks.
I mean, and that's what Thibodeau wants. Thibodeau wants defensive-minded
That would be a good look.
players, and I think that would be a good look for Lonzo's career because now Lonzo doesn't have to go to the Knicks and try to save the Knicks.
Yes.
Randall and other guys over there are already doing that. He is just
Already
being
killing.
put in a piece where he can help that team grow defensively and get the ball to their good guys in good spots. So I think that's a good move.
All right, what else we got?
Let's see. I am going to struggle and butcher this name. Nemanja? Jalika?
Hey, I'm going off
Listen, man.
Look, so he's going to Miami
from
SAC, from the Kings.
Okay.
So he's going for Mo Harkless and Chris Silva.
I think that's a good look for Miami. It stretches the floor. He is a stretch big. I seen him play a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh, he got a nice little shot. So, I mean, that helps Miami. Miami dumps Mo Harkless, who they weren't playing anyway, and so it helps Miami.
Mo Harkless didn't had a career, man.
Yeah,
Coming out of St. John's, nobody thought anything of Mo Harkless. He has been in the league
Yeah, he's
for
been
like
balling, dude.
12 years.
Yeah.
Good for him. Biggie stand up.
All right, what we got next?
Big one, George Hill going to Philadelphia.
It's a great
3-team trade. So the Knicks were involved in the trade as well. The Knicks received Terrence Ferguson, Vincent Poirier, and a 21 second-round pick from Philly. The Thunder received Tony Bradley, Austin Rivers, who is now just a trade hoe, a 2025 second-round pick, and a 2026 second-round pick, both from Philly.
So that gives Oklahoma City now 95 picks in the next
Pretty
four
much.
or 5
Pretty
years.
much. And then the Sixers receive Ignas Brazdeikis.
Yeah,
Brazdeikis.
exactly.
All right, fair enough. And George Hill.
Well, I like Terrence Ferguson going to the Knicks.
Yeah.
I think that's going to
It's a
be
good look for
slept on. I think that's going to
That's
be
a quiet one.
bro. And
Yeah.
if you get Lonzo Ball over there, I think they cooking over in New York. George Hill to the 76ers is a good move.
They needed something
It's
there.
not Kyle
they needed
Lowry.
something.
Not
It's
Kyle
not
Lowry.
Kyle, but it's also
But we knew when that trade
very
happened.
cheap.
We knew when that trade happened that Kyle Lowry wouldn't be going there now.
Yeah.
I mean, to basically give up, all they had to give up was some second-round picks. They gave up 3 second-round picks.
He's
They
a
gave up-
savvy. He's a savvy vet.
Yeah.
He'll be able to go out and do exactly what Doc Rivers wants him to
Yeah.
do at the point guard position, and it takes a little bit of pressure off of Ben Simmons at that position.
Yeah.
He'll be able to guard the other team's best offensive player.
Yeah.
And come down and set the offense up. I like it.
Yep.
I think Philly wins in that situation.
Yeah. And Philly's been balling, man. And listen, I'm excited to watch the Eastern Conference playoffs this year because the top of the East looks really good. And then we even have Boston that's been struggling. But does this move with Evan Fournier, and we'll talk about this, does this move make Boston better? Because I think they already got the team, right? They got the coach that everyone has been overrating for a long time. Yeah. I remember me and Goose arguing about that on Let the Ball Bounce a couple years ago, how everyone's calling him a great coach. Now's the time to show, are you a great coach when the team's struggling.
Well, I think that was me you were arguing with. I said
Was
he was
that
a great
you?
coach.
I mean,
I think that was me.
I said
Okay.
Brad Stevens was a great coach.
Well,
you were like, is he so
And
great?
he's a good coach, but
he's a very good coach.
with
but in
Boston
the
being
end-
down there, if they could pick it up in the second half of the season, that's going to be a dangerous team. No one's going to want to see Boston in the first round.
you never want to see Boston in the first round, but looking at their team, looking at how they're constructed,
They have two great
Yeah.
players on that team.
But
But
I don't think Boston is going to ever be that Boston team again until they do right by Isaiah Thomas. Look, man, let me tell you what they did with him.
Can Isaiah get on a team?
Isaiah's
no.
done, man. That man got worse hips than Phil Jackson. Y'all better
and
come
Bo
off
Jackson
it.
put together? Yikes!
Y'all better come off it. He can't sit down on a chair. Like,
Bill Jackson, Bo Jackson, Isaiah Thomas Jackson.
Well, I'd rather have his hips than
Sorry, Miss
childbearing hips. But look,
fair enough. Fair enough.
look, man, that
Oh, my
Boston
goodness.
team, man, picking up Evan Fournier, I think it helps him at the point guard position. Even though you still got Kemba Walker, he's not been all the way healthy this year. I think a lot of people are really just coming down on Kemba Walker this year.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be okay.
Boston had to give up literally a
Yes.
flat, medium Pepsi from McDonald's.
What did they give up? I mean,
Two
it's just
second-round
draft
picks. That's it.
That's it. And you got it plays in Charlotte right now. The shooting guard.
Who? Not in this
Well,
trade.
no, not in this trade, but they let him go. Came from Utah.
Oh, you talking about
Gordon.
Yeah,
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward. Okay, but no, yeah, they didn't have to
as
give
far
up.
as that, they only
yeah, they
gave
had
up
to give
two
up anything
second
with that,
rounders
yeah.
for Evan Fournier. Is he on an expiring contract?
I do
I
not
believe
know.
he is.
Evan Fournier.
I think so. I'm not sure, but we'll figure that out.
I like it. I like it for Boston. I think it helps them at the point guard position. I don't think they needed to go after any shooting guards, any small forwards.
Yeah.
Maybe a center. Maybe LaMarcus Aldridge or Andre Drummond that would have completely turned this team around. But going after a guard that nobody even thought about and nobody even really saw over in Orlando, Evan Fournier, I think Boston picked up a jewel.
And I think that's the cool thing. We have the NBA trade deadline. Everyone thinks, okay, my team didn't make a move. Why didn't they make a move? But the good thing about this is why I love the NBA, because even the offseason is crazy like this. The NBA trade deadline is over, but now we have something else opening up, which is the buyout market.
Yes.
And so with Boston not getting a center in trades, you look at the trade market. Okay, no one's really looking to trade for Andre Drummond. No one's really looking to trade for LaMarcus Aldridge. They don't want to give up so much for a half-season rental, right? So now these teams, knowing that you're
We don't
probably
have to
going to buy
trade.
them out,
Yeah, we don't have to trade.
and so we could pay them $2 million to come and play for the rest of the year. You still got to pay them some for the buyout. And now there's a whole new season of buyout market. I'm not sure how
buyout
long.
watch.
I'm not sure how long the
Yeah.
buyout market lasts this year because of everything, the shift in everything with COVID.
I feel like it's
But at least a
still have
couple
some
more
time.
weeks.
Yeah, we have
There's
a
at
few
least
more
a couple
weeks.
more weeks. They're talking about Drummond's going to get bought out because
Yeah.
they didn't find a trade partner. LaMarcus Aldridge will most likely get bought out. So we could see LaMarcus going to Boston still. We could see Drummond going to the Lakers. I know a lot of Laker fans are, oh, no, Lakers didn't make any moves. I'm cool with it. We don't need to get drastic.
Like, this is the stuff that just upsets me as a fan. Like, where do you keep finding this money? And my team is always screaming poverty.
Well, Lakers have kept, and that's why the buyout is so good, because you get bought out, you get to pay them $2 million. You don't have to pay them anything.
But you have no cap space. It
No, you
makes
do. We have 2 open spaces
How? Where?
because there's 2 open spaces. Every team gets 15 spots.
Yeah.
Lakers have 2 open spaces. They haven't signed people on
No.
purpose for the buyout market.
Well, the space is fine, but you have no money.
But there's cap space in those 2 spaces for every team.
I just hate
There's
this
at least
For every
3
team.
people I can name for the Lakers that they can get rid of right now.
Name them. Name them.
Okay.
You want me to name them?
Yeah.
Okay, your boy, Jared Dudley.
He hates Jared Dudley.
That's number one.
You're preaching to the
He
choir there.
is
Go ahead.
The
give me
worst player in the NBA.
Stop. I hate when you do that.
He has no definition in his arms.
Listen.
I don't even work out, and I got more
Listen,
definition in
for
my arms than
for
Jared
you
Dudley.
right now.
I will ball him up. I really think I could ball him up.
Listen, see, and this is exactly why I'm glad you said that. Brian Scalabrine posted a video like the other day, right? This high school like a high school player that's actually ranked and is going to college next year. saw Brian Scalabrine was talking trash and they wore the same sneaker size.
Right.
He was like, I'll play you for your shoes right now. Like, oh, say word, bet. After he flamed this child 11 rocks, he had to give up his shoes. Like, listen,
I'm not
and Brian
playing for shoes,
Scalabrine is 45 plus. Like, we have to stop as a public saying, yeah, I can beat this NBA player. I can do anything he can do.
I agree. I do
Because-
apologize.
Thank you.
I would whoop Jared Dudley.
Oh,
Okay, you ready for my other one?
Go ahead.
Wesley
Yeah.
Matthews.
Okay.
Bye,
He's
Wes.
done absolutely
I would take
nothing this year.
I would take Wes Matthews right now over Wesley Matthews.
Tragic. Tragic.
Give me number one.
Mark Gasol. 3 right there.
Wow.
Done.
You want Mark out, huh?
I forgot
Done.
he even played for the Lakers.
Done.
Dang.
Those 3 done.
Not
Not
me tell
even
you-
KCP? That was who I was going with.
KCP is good in the
Football.
playoffs defensively,
Is he?
and he's timely with clutch shots that LeBron hits him on sometime. So,
Sometimes.
That made my whole day. He's like, yeah. Sometimes.
Sometime.
And
He
real
did it.
quick,
He did it
Spurs
sometime.
are buying out Aldridge.
That
So
just came out?
That's
Okay.
official now.
All right. Makes sense.
And Redick to the Mavs. Mavericks get JJ Redick and Nicola Melli.
That's a
the
good look.
Pelicans get James Johnson, who
Okay.
was thrown around from who's Philly last
Miami.
year.
And then he played for
Miami?
Miami before that.
Yep.
That's good for the Pelicans. JJ Redick. Pelicans are in the playoffs though. They're like right there.
But Mavericks are a better team. Mavericks
Mavericks,
needed that
that's definitely
shooting.
they definitely because I thought the James Johnson trade, anyways, giving up Seth Curry
Yeah.
was a really bad move. I still don't know why they made it
Yeah, that
because
move
Seth
didn't
Curry
make
was balling last year. They
Yeah, he
needed him in the
was.
playoffs.
He
Yeah, he
was.
was.
They needed shooters.
I don't understand why they did
and
that.
they got
either.
rid of him for somebody that I like James Johnson, but he's not a shooter. And that's
He's
what the
definitely
Mavs
not Seth
need.
Curry.
And so they definitely made up for it getting JJ Redick. I think that's really good for them going in to this playoff race.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
JJ Redick getting out of, he's more with a veteran team. He's with definitely a veteran coach. Not saying that Stan Van Gundy is not a veteran coach, but that
It fits his style
Maverick,
more.
that
It fits his
Maverick
style.
organization, and the fact that you got Tim Hardaway Jr. over there, who's a very streaky shooter.
Yeah.
So is JJ Redick, but JJ Redick coming in off the bench for Tim Hardaway Jr. I think that's great.
Is a hired
good
gun.
move.
It's not
Yeah.
a bad move.
It's not a bad move for
All right, what else we got? I know we got an Oladipo trade, or which one you want to talk about
Well,
next?
the Oladipo trade, we still don't know what the other side of the trade was.
Okay.
So it's hard to really rank that
But
one. But he-
Oladipo did get traded to Miami.
to Miami.
So we'll look that up because I know there's some more information out there. So
So you got
we'll
a
get
lot of
that
people
whole
that
trade.
kind of play the same position. You got Jimmy Buckets, you got Tyler Hero, you got what's
All
the
same
stretch
size,
three?
too.
All same size. You got
Yeah.
Oladipo, and then now you have what's the stretch 3-point shooter? Played D3. He was in trade talks too, going to Toronto too.
You talking about Duncan Robinson?
Duncan
Oh, okay.
Robinson,
Yeah.
man. They all kind of play the same position. You still got Andre Iguodala over there. I mean, all
Is he
of them.
still
in-
there?
Yeah.
he's still there. I mean,
Yeah, he's still there.
you got
I thought
all
he
of them
retired.
playing in that same position. I mean, it still looks like Miami may be trying to make some moves. So somebody's going to be on the move, even though that draft scenario is not
Yeah.
finished. Oladipo's there in Miami. Somebody got to go
You think so?
for sure.
I mean, everybody has tried to snatch Tyler Hero out. I've heard a lot
They're
of
not letting him go.
I've heard a lot of
They
people
shouldn't
like,
either.
oh
That'd
yeah,
be
like
dumb.
we'll give up so and so for Tyler Hero, and they're like, no, and I'm like, wow, they really like Tyler
Yeah.
Hero.
Yeah.
I mean, he has his own song, so it is what it is.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the most overrated player I think in the NBA. Aaron Gordon got traded
Yes, he
to
did.
Denver Nuggets. Does this make Denver better? They already had it, and Dre will bring this up because I know he had some beef about this. You let Harvey Grant's son go,
Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
which is better to me. I think
He
Aaron
is
Gordon is
way better
overrated.
than Aaron
I'm
Gordon.
not an Aaron Gordon fan. He doesn't do a lot. He doesn't have a high basketball IQ to me
Right.
at all.
He had his
He's
had
a
his
decent
moment.
rebounder.
He had his moment to really be Blake Griffin. Because that was kind of the body
he was
type.
like the bootleg Blake.
He was. I mean,
Yeah.
he was light skinned like Blake. He had the same kind of hair as Blake.
Same
He-
leaps.
same kind of athletic ability. But Blake rebounded. Blake tried to play defense. He didn't always succeed, but he did try. And he just the energy level was just different. The output was
Yeah.
different. He always was a scorer.
Right.
This is a light skin issues with Josh Williams segment, sponsored by
light-skinned
Dove
mistakes.
Soap.
Wait, who?
Wash the dirt off of
Yeah,
you.
who was the
That was Dove
that
Soap.
was
That was
Dove,
Dove.
right? That's what I thought. I thought that was
That's
pretty.
funny.
That was pretty good. You remembered that. That was
Well,
as black people, we just move on.
Using Dove soap is better than using liquid Tide.
hey.
I never stopped using Dove the whole time. They're like, oh, we're outraged. I was like, Dove smells good. Y'all
smells
bugging.
good.
We're
Y'all
outraged.
bugging.
Well, you're
Y'all
light-skinned.
are bugging.
You're light skinned.
You know, I'm going to say this about Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is not a better player than Jeremy Grant. And if Denver was going to keep anybody.
And not a better fit.
No.
Make a
If
lateral
they
move.
if they were going to make any moves, they should have kept Jeremy Grant. Now, you get Aaron Gordon and then you trade away Gary Harris, who, in my opinion,
like Harris a
is
lot.
a better
Yeah.
basketball mind
Yeah.
than Aaron Gordon. He may not be as athletic as Aaron Gordon, so I don't know how this helps them at that position.
I think really they let go of Grant though to make room for Michael Porter Jr. to give him more room.
Because Grant did get paid.
Yeah,
He got paid in Detroit.
Because I mean, in the end, if Michael Porter Jr. is going to be a star, you kind of had to let him go, so then those shots come over. You know what I mean? So then it's like, oh, okay, he can have these extra shots.
Well, right now, who would you have right now? Michael Porter Jr. or Jeremy Grant?
Again,
I think the future. I think the future of Michael Porter Jr. does
I
look
still don't-
really good.
I feel
but
like his ceiling in terms of what they're gonna try to push in the league. I don't feel like the league will push Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, right.
Where I feel like they're gonna try to push Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
So that's the only. Is it the right basketball move to the eyesight? No.
Right.
No. It still doesn't seem like the right move, but they did draft him high.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant was, he had come over in some trades.
They've been doing a lot of coddling of Michael Porter Jr.
Of course.
I mean,
Of course.
because it's
A light
what
skin
issues?
thing. It's a light skin.
Was it light skin issues or light skin?
No, light skin mistake.
Did-
Oh, light skin mistakes.
Come
Okay.
on, you forgot
Denver
your own
Nuggets
name.
pick up JaVale McGee, which gives
Yeah.
them great defensive presence and rebounding. I think that helps them.
Yep.
It helps Joker. And so right
Take
now,
some burden off of him.
that's a good move.
And JaVale had been in Denver before with
Second
Carmelo, and
Yeah.
He was.
and
Yeah,
they,
he
you
was.
know,
young
Second
along.
stint.
Yeah. Wow.
and they did. He was really good in Denver at that time. That's when Denver was, battling the Lakers and stuff like that.
Yeah. He can go. He can smoke freely, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
JaVale McGee. He's
Yeah.
still going to give you some JaVale McGee moments.
And he has to be happy getting out of Cleveland, going to
Yeah.
Denver.
Oh, most definitely.
Who doesn't want to get out of
No
Cleveland?
one wants to live in Cleveland.
Ask Joakim Noah.
Thank you.
But we all expected LeBron to stay. You know what? Let's talk about that on the
Be loyal. I'm so sick of the loyalty talk in sports.
Vucevic.
That team's not loyal to you. Huge trade. That was one of the first trades
Vucevic
of
to
the
Chicago
day.
for Al Farouk Amino and Vucevic going for Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr. It was the junior trade. A 21 first-round pick, top 4 protected, which is interesting. And then also a 2023 first-round pick,
Yikes.
unprotected.
I think Orlando should really give their team. They shouldn't even play this year.
No, they should move.
I mean,
Who is over in Orlando right now that's going to get you 20 points?
I'm not
Name
sure.
one person.
I'm not sure if Orlando would win the G League championship right now.
Okay, well, they got Terrence Ross over there who may be asking for a trade soon, too.
you can't now.
Yeah,
Too
you
late.
got- they have trade deadlines over. You got to ask for a
Missed your
buyout.
moment.
Terrence Ross woke up late. Like, wait.
Hold on. Who's on the
Hey,
team?
He called his agent up like, hey, bro, what happened?
His scoring average is
I'm
going
on
to go
Twitter.
up 8 points.
I'm on Twitter. I'm still a Orlando Magics. I'm still
my-
on the Magics.
Didn't he do that? Oh, my.
That's tragic.
Yo, that
I can't wait
man.
to be an Orlando Magics.
Yeah, Orlando.
Bro, it's
but
already
listen,
Pearl.
man, Chicago making for this playoff run, they look really good.
On paper.
For a lot of people that don't know who Vucevic is,
Man,
that
he's
dude
good.
is a baller. He was an all-star. People
Yep.
don't even know who he was when they pan through the all-stars. Who's that guy? And then you keep going.
Yeah,
And he listen, man, this dude could ball. A lot of people don't watch Orlando basketball because they're not on much. But if you have League Pass,
bad
like
basketball.
like we talk about it all the time, Dre talks about it on Let the Ball Bounce all the time. If you don't have League Pass and you call yourself an NBA fan, you're a liar.
Nah, man.
I
stop it.
mean,
And
or
thanks
you
for
have
everyone
Fire
tuning
Stick.
in. We got Tamika Bolton tuning in, William Logan, BRM tuning in, Stephanie Washington, Andrew Russell, Miss Ballin D, what's up? My mom's tuning in, Melissa Ferris tuning in, everybody's tuning in. Shout out to my mom for driving me here. My
She
car
was
got
your
a flat
Uber
tire.
rider.
She was my Uber
Oh, wow.
today. I got
It
a
was-
flat tire on
it
the
was
way
the
here.
Uber.
I was in Starbucks parking lot and I was driving out or driving out, and I'm like, yo, I'm leaning to the side. And I got, I'm in a Honda Civic.
And I'm not from 28th Street. Yikes.
And so I drove to Discount Tire, which is right across the street, had a nail in my tire. Luckily, was able to still get here on time. Josh didn't have a flat tire, and I still beat him.
Josh had a unfortunate Uber experience, but it's all right.
And
You got
I
paid.
was sitting in the parking lot for at least 45 minutes.
What time you get here?
I had-
11:20.
Yeah. I had an unfortunate Lyft experience the other day,
Yeah.
which I felt like a Deshaun Watson victim with this lady. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. But women could do it too, guys. Don't just be blaming the guys,
Man,
because
please, we've already had that discussion.
every time I pick up at Mango Tango at 2 a.m, those ladies' hands
Trash.
are not in the right place.
Trash.
Let me just tell you that right now. But she was hot.
Anyway,
Next strike.
Corey Joseph. Corey Joseph is on the move.
Detroit.
He is now a Detroit Piston, and along with him came with the second round pick from this year via the Lakers, as well as a second round pick in 2024. The Kings get DeLon Wright.
I like both. I like both moves.
Yeah.
I like the Kings getting DeLon Wright. I like DeLon Wright as a basketball player, and Corey Joseph. He's a savvy vet that will help that Detroit Piston team along Jeremy Grant over there. So I mean, Detroit Pistons are probably a year or two away from
They
putting
pretty much got rid of everybody this
Yeah.
year. They got
Yeah.
rid of Blake. They got rid of D Rose. So they're clearing house, clearing shop. So they want draft picks. They want aspiring contracts, which makes sense for them. They're not going to do much. It's going to be a few years before you hear anything good from the Pistons.
Yeah. At least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. What else we got?
Trevor Ariza got moved to
Again?
Miami.
Whoa!
And I
didn't hear that one.
For
That was a couple
Myers
days ago,
Leonard.
though. Yeah,
Oh,
Miles
yeah,
Leonard
they
went
got
back
rid-
to
they got-
Portland.
They got rid of the racist.
Yeah. Did you actually hear it when did you hear the whole situation when
I
he said
did.
it? Yeah, that's
It
not.
was
and
in
then,
the game.
and then, but then to say like, I didn't know what that word meant. It's like, bro.
But you said it in a
that's not
malicious
a,
way.
That's not a word that. Did you ever see Michael Rappaport? Because Michael Rappaport's Jewish, and so he actually broke it down. Like I had to actually look up the word, and I didn't realize where it actually started from Jews. It was a way to differentiate other Jewish people. And so,
What's the word?
No, I won't say the word, but basically it was a way to differentiate Russian Jews from
Wow.
Middle Eastern Jews, because the way their last name sounded, it ended in that syllable, and so that was their way.
What's
and
that
then,
syllable?
No, you're not gonna do it.
But listen, and I want to tell athletes, and our dude Jamal gets on all the time, so hopefully he doesn't say anything racist. But these
No.
athletes, streaming and stuff like that, we saw with the race car driver
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dropping the M-bomb,
Yeah.
and then apologizing later. This is what you're saying in private, but
Yeah.
in private now in 2021
Is in private.
in public.
Yeah.
So no matter what you say in private, so that's why you got to change your mindset and change the way you think and say things in private, so you don't say things in public. So, and that's a heart change, right? You got to change your heart to
Yeah,
quit saying those crazy things and just be better to people, man. Be
I
a
don't
better
think it's
person.
that simple. I don't think it's that simple. I mean,
Because they're raised that way.
Yeah, and I'm one of them people, and you can hate me if you want. I'm one of them people that say that racism will never die.
It won't.
And so, at the end of the day, people are just going to be more careful on where and how and what they say,
Or more
in
belligerent.
front of pretty much. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing video games and you're getting.
And if you're
in the
20s
heated-
and 30s, that word is at least not good. Like if you're 15 and you say something, you've heard that, so
yeah.
it comes
you
out,
might
right?
not know how explosive it is.
Yeah. Like I've said stuff when I was a teenager that when you grow up, you're like, oh, dang, I didn't
Yeah.
realize
Like what type
the
of stuff?
power of that word.
I'm sure.
I mean, I would repeat Wu-Tang lyrics all day.
I'm sure. Look, listen. When we make it, there will have to be some scrubbing or just a stock apology ready for these Facebooks that are gonna come up. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and go to boilerplate number 3. I apologize
Oh,
for what I
man.
said in my youth.
All right, BRM's asking how many teams has Trevor Ariza played for? He's guessing 8.
Shoot, are we guessing the
York,
stints or
Lakers,
there's multiple stints.
There's multiple stints.
Houston
Pelicans.
twice, Pelicans,
Yeah.
OKC,
Lakers.
Wizards.
And he got a ring.
Wizards
He got a
twice.
ring with the Lakers.
ring with the Lakers, definitely.
Wizards twice.
Wizards twice.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been a lot of places twice.
Miami now.
Yep.
I
twice.
feel like he was on somewhere in the.
Was he on Portland for a minute? Because I know even this
Yes, I
summer,
feel
this
like
summer
that's right.
he got traded and there was a team he didn't even play for, and that might have been Portland.
Yikes.
But yeah, Trevor's been everywhere, man. He's yeah.
Let's see. We can break this thing down.
I think it's 10 teams. I think he's
You're
played for
going
10
10.
teams. I'm going 10.
All right.
I'll say 9.
We've got the Knicks. Orlando.
Like Price is right.
Orlando.
Price is right.
We didn't
$1.
we didn't have Orlando. LA.
Oh, Orlando, of course, Orlando.
LA. Houston. New Orleans.
Whoa.
New Orleans.
Wow.
Water got me.
Light skin mistakes.
Water got me. Wizards.
6.
Houston
7.
again. Well, technically 6, I guess. Still.
Okay.
Phoenix.
Oh,
7.
I forgot about Phoenix.
Phoenix. Sac.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Portland. 9.
Wow.
Miami is now new.
Dang.
That is 10.
Dre won the
That
dollar.
is 10. Bro, he made it. He's played on 10 teams, brother.
Yeah.
And now we're saying
In
the
4
Heat.
years.
Now we're saying the Miami Heat are front runners for LaMarcus Aldridge. So talking about making moves, maybe none of these guys move. That all the
Where you
shooting
thought
guards
they
and
were
small
going, yeah.
forwards aren't going to move.
Which means
They might just move to the bench. They
that
get LaMarcus Aldridge.
some of those players that are over in Miami right now, some of them got to go. You got to get rid of some people now.
Yeah.
You bringing in Oladipo.
and it has to
you
be a
bringing in
buyout,
Trevor
but-
Ariza. You bringing in
Oh, that's
LaMarcus
a lot of
Aldridge.
people,
Bro,
How many
look at
people they
this.
got on their roster, Josh?
Look it up.
Wow, that's like a 25-team roster right now.
Bros.
But listen, Miami said, "Look,
It's a good look.
take us serious in the East. We're in the NBA Finals. We're Eastern Conference champs. Let us improve now. If you get LaMarcus Aldridge a fresh start with a really good team,
I don't know why Lakers didn't go get him for cheap.
you're gonna see this dude.
At least for 1 year.
You're gonna see a different version of LaMarcus Aldridge in Miami, I believe. That is a good look for
That is a
Miami.
good look.
And listen, I don't care how many All-Stars you have on Brooklyn.
It's going to help Adebayo's game. for
That's
sure.
that's going to be hard. Quit throwing Brooklyn automatically in the finals, everybody.
Well, they got a lot of daggone players on the team right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And if they get
11,
Aldridge,
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. They have 17
and they're just
players
saying
on the
they're,
roster right
they're
now.
just saying they're the front runner. Not saying
Yeah.
it's a guaranteed thing, but listen, man, that would be a crazy move, and that would make Miami definitely scary. And I think that would make Miami a top 3 team in the East.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, God. Yeah, UD does still play for them.
Oh yeah, Haslam signed again. Haslam signed again.
I forgot UD's still out there. Go ahead, Udonis. Keep getting those checks.
What is it like? They traded Dwayne Wade away, but they keep giving Udonis Haslam checks
Well,
over
let
and
me-
over again.
Let me tell you.
Because
What-
Udonis
what
is
I
willing
think.
to take the lowest common denominator.
Let me tell you what I think would happen is when LeBron left, UD turned down more money to stay with Miami. And when LeBron left, it kind of messed UD and Dwayne Wade's money up. So
Yeah, it
Dwayne Wade ended up leaving to go get his money.
Went
Yeah.
to Chicago.
UD ended up staying, and I think this is part of what Miami is doing, is showing Udonis
like an extended
loyalty.
contract.
It's extending his contract so he can make some of that money back because of what LeBron did.
It's like a little baby
I'm
Bobby
okay with
Bonilla
that.
contract.
I'm okay with
You
that.
just kind of stick around for a little bit.
just
we'll
kind of
keep
coach,
paying you.
maybe.
You don't have to play. You don't even have to practice.
Bro,
and
he
UD looks good because if you look at him when he played for the University of Florida
He
till
was-
now, he was
was
super
hefty.
chubby. He is in probably the best shape
Yeah.
of his life, man. He looks
bro,
good.
Udonis has not suited up in a game all season.
Of course, he's a high paid.
Look at his stats.
Yeah.
When
Yikes.
Flatline.
when they made the deal, I said he's the highest paid assistant coach in the league.
Oh my God, he's getting nothing but the nups. He's getting nothing but DMP.
And don't be surprised if he signs again for 21-22 season.
Nah, that won't happen.
That is too good. That is too
I didn't
good.
think it would happen this year, though.
I think it may
I
be
didn't
this
think it would
last
happen
year.
this year.
I think it'll be his last year, but I like UD. I like him. He's a good person. He's a good dude. I know him, and he's definitely humble, man, and he puts in the work. And I think he's a voice for Pat Riley on
Yeah.
that bench, and that is the reason. Pat Riley is very strategic when it comes
Oh,
to
yeah.
how he does certain things in Miami.
Do we have any other major trades to announce or to talk about?
Let me see. No, I think that's it. Outside of we started talking about Oladipo. Kyle Lowry didn't go anywhere.
All right, let's talk about the buyout market. We're talking about LaMarcus Aldridge. If he doesn't go to Miami, what's another team that you think should pick him up? I know, Dre, you talked about the Celtics a little bit.
Talked about the Lakers. Lakers should pick
Lakers.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
But if you are going LaMarcus Aldridge or Andre Drummond, who do you take?
Andre Drummond.
Okay.
If I'm the Lakers.
Yeah.
In that situation, I mean, you definitely take Andre Drummond, especially if
'Cause
it's
I
on
feel
like
like-
a 1-year rental.
And I feel like
Make the most of your
Aldridge.
rental.
I feel like Aldridge and AD are too similar of players to have them both playing on the floor. You
I
could play.
think
You could
he
play
helps.
Drummond and AD on the floor, and I think that's going to help AD tremendously.
Most definitely.
Drummond is basically a higher functioning JaVale McGee.
And a
So you-
better rebounding
yeah.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
play those two together.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
And allow AD to be a 4, since that's the life he wishes to live so
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
all the time.
And he's spreading the floor. I mean, listen, man, he's been hitting threes. He's doing good. So,
God, I'm not happy that he.
Let
won
me
the
tell you
title.
why the Lakers hadn't made any moves yet. Because before AD and LeBron James were hurt, they were ranked number 1 in defense. They were leading.
they were the best team in the league.
They were the best
Yeah.
team in the league, and I'm thinking in their sentiments, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
These guys are hurt. Let's just maintain what we have.
Don't panic.
Don't
don't
panic. When
panic
the
over
playoffs
injuries.
start back, we're still going to have a really solid team.
Yeah.
Now you guys might fall into. I was reading something earlier. Just this next stretch of missed games, you guys could fall as low as 6 in this stretch.
Yeah.
if
I
you
mean-
don't
helps.
play well.
I think
Yeah.
that helps the Lakers.
LeBron's
They
out
don't
for a
need
month.
home court.
Home court's not going to matter. I know as we get into the playoffs, you will see teams with more fans, like maybe
Trying-
50% going
trying
into the
to get-
playoffs,
Yeah, trying to get fans in the building.
which is going to be weird. So what's the rules going to be like? Listen, if California is still closed and no California teams could have fans, and then Lakers play Utah, and Utah
And
can
it's
have 50%
100%.
capacity with a lot of racist white. I mean, with 50% capacity. What does that do? Is the NBA going to have rules to where like maybe
No
it's
rules.
not fair? Like no fans could be in,
Well,
or the NBA wants
What's
that
fair
money.
in life?
Yeah. Well, Miami has implemented some things in their arena where they have seating for people who've already taken their vaccination. So if you want to sit in certain sections,
Oh,
these
wow.
are the vaccinated section seating.
Wow.
And if
So
you
I
need a
think-
bootleg vaccination, wow, I
yeah,
couldn't even say
the
it.
vaccination,
Vaccination.
like
Vaccine.
We need
The
to
card.
get. Yeah,
If you
we-
need a bootleg
It's already-
card,
they're already working on it.
hit up Dre.
Whoa, Dre, you got him?
Yeah, I got them.
No, you. Don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you do
Yeah.
not have.
Yes,
fake,
I do.
Fake, really?
$1,500 a pop.
Ah, come on now! Don't give me like that.
Come on, man, it's worth it.
Hey, listen. If I need to leave the country, I'll let you know. It's coming. Cause Dubai, I am not.
Bro,
trying
you
to
know
sit
how much
still.
money laminating cards cost now? I mean, I'm just saying that the prices for things are going
it's
up.
going up. Inflation.
You have to understand that it's hitting me and my suppliers.
$1,500 for them young bootleg vaccination cards.
Man.
Hit your guy up. Man.
All right,
Oh,
right,
my
right now,
goodness.
Lakers are number 4, but LeBron and AD are still out for at least 2 or 3 more weeks, at least.
Wow, they could fall even further.
So
than
they
that.
could fall. Right now, they're 4.5 games back. Denver is number 5, 6.5 games back. So Lakers only 2 games above Denver.
Okay.
Only 2.5 above Portland.
Uh-oh. That's 7.
Only 4 above Dallas, which is number 7.
Uh-oh.
I mean, Portland
And
has gotten
4.5 over San Antonio, which is number 8.
If we're gonna rate how
Get
which team
well,
had the
get
better
well soon.
better trade deadline, Portland.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take Portland right now. I mean, they ended up getting Miles Leonard,
Yeah.
the racist, Powell,
Wait, did they?
Yeah.
Is that he?
That was for
Myers
a
Leonard.
reason.
Myers.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I like Portland. I don't think that Denver got substantially greater. I think
Yeah.
they got better defensively, but
it was
offensively.
kind of lateral. It was a lateral move
Yeah.
in some ways. Yeah.
So I think the Lakers will be all right. I think they'll be all right. I think that Anthony should come back before LeBron. LeBron needs a
No,
little
I
bit
think he
more rest.
will. I think Anthony Davis is definitely targeted to come back before. But yeah, I mean, I think it was good for LeBron to get hurt, to be honest, because he wasn't going to sit out
No, he wasn't.
unless he got hurt. And I didn't agree with that. I really thought he should
Shut it
come
down.
back healthy for the,
shut it
closer
down.
to the playoffs. Take at least,
Take a
couple
page.
games
Take a
off.
page out of the Nets book. They said all of their players. I mean, they said James Harden hurt his neck, but he was over jumping on the sideline.
My neck, my back.
Oh boy! And then Kyrie is taking off for his birthday, and
taking a
then
smoke break.
your boy KD
He
hamstring
just
is
keeps
still
taking off. Like
has
KD's,
a Chris Paul hamstring noodle.
I've hardly watched KD play. Lakers staying pat, just as I suspected, Les Pickett. Yeah, and I think they should have. If there wasn't something that made sense out there, you don't just make moves to make moves. Trading Montrezl Harrell, unless
No.
you get something great off of
like
that
Montrez.
trade, you keep Montrez. Montrez is playing good, and right now he's going to average 20 a game with LeBron and AD out.
Yeah.
Kuzma
Yeah,
should
easily.
average 20 a game.
Should.
You got Dennis Schroeder. He should be averaging 19, 20 a game with LeBron and AD out right now.
15
so
at least.
This might help the Lakers. That's going to help them be better players. So when LeBron and AD come back, and if Lakers get Drummond,
I think
they're going to be a
Lakers.
dangerous team once it all is said and done.
Yeah, I think Lakers all along wanted Drummond, and they said, you know what, we're gonna go after Drummond during this trade deadline,
Yep.
and if he's not available, we're not going after nobody else
Yeah.
but Drummond, and I think that's who they're waiting for.
Yeah, definitely. And if Lakers fall, let's say they fall to 6 or 7, right? You play the Clippers or Phoenix in the first round.
Bro, that's
Clippers
good.
or Phoenix do not want to see a full
Not-
Lakers
not
that
in the
bro.
first round.
Nah,
Could you
no.
imagine that?
Nah, bro.
How scared would you be as a team seeing the world champion Lakers come in your building, game 1 for the first round of the NBA playoffs?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I think the Lakers seeding is going to help them out in the long run. They don't
'Cause-
need the number 1
Well,
seed.
because
Utah's gonna get that number 1
And
seed.
like we said,
can
the
you
home court's
imagine
not going to be the same.
Can you imagine the Lakers being 8 seed? Let's just hypothetically say they're
Yeah.
8 seed.
You essentially
and
are
then
the
Utah's
one.
number 1.
Yeah.
Utah will get smashed.
you're essentially the 1 seed. Like if they fall all the way to 8, they're running a 1.
yes.
Same thing. They're doing the same
in,
thing.
Yeah, they're in the 1 route. They don't want to be at 6, 5 in that range because
But
now
wait,
we got wars
wait,
to start.
real quick. We got new NBA rules, folks. If Lakers drop to 8, they would have to be in a playing game.
Playing game too. Yeah.
That would be weird.
Yeah. Hey,
So Lakers don't want to dip to 8.
don't let it happen.
That would be weird.
Who's on that bubble right now? Who's in that?
And I'm not
range
sure
right now?
exactly how the playing game works because I think you have to be within 4 games of that 8th spot for them to even have a playing game. I believe.
I don't know. I
can't remember exactly how the playing game works, but Memphis is 1 game behind San Antonio for 8th.
Oh.
Golden State's a game and a half.
Neither of those teams make me any kind of nervous
At all.
for anything.
At all.
Not if it's like this is for our life.
No.
And then the playing game last year was you had to win 2 out of 3, I think. I can't remember exactly
Well,
how it
'cause-
was. Or you had to. If the 8th team won, it would have been over.
It
But
was
if
all the way down
the
to
19th
10.
won,
Yeah, it was all the way down to 10.
Yeah.
It was 8, 9, and
we got to
10.
look at those rules because I
Yeah.
can't remember exactly
Last
how
year it
how
was
that plays
weird.
out.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it's just the one team this time.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, a lot going on in the NBA, folks. A lot of trades. Do you think Lowry is cool with not being traded?
I think he's okay.
I think he's all right.
He never really wanted to leave, be honest with you.
I mean, they're not in Toronto right now anyway, so it's not like, they're sad or, they're missing anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, he's put down roots in Toronto. I think that's where he wants to be.
Yeah.
His money's there. He's won a chip.
But he
so it's
gave
not
the
like
peace sign last night, like I'm out when he left the arena.
just in case. You never know.
I feel you. Might be my last time.
Sometimes you got to say deuce.
Put that tribute video up for me next year when I come back, folks. And they won't boo you like they did Vince Carter. All right, Philly's number 1 in the East. Milwaukee's number 2. Milwaukee's looking better. I thought they could have made a trade to help them out because we don't trust the Bucks in the playoffs, right? No matter how good they are, they're 29-14. They could be undefeated, and we wouldn't trust them, right? And I think Milwaukee should have done something else.
I don't think nobody was really out there that Milwaukee wanted. And I think right now at every position that in Milwaukee, when it comes to shooting guard, power forward, center, point guard, they're straight.
They have a full squad. But what are they missing to get over that hump in the playoffs?
Toughness. Just win.
Yeah.
At this point,
Just win.
You guys just have some veterans on your team right now. There's no excuses for Middleton and Greek Freak to not take this team over the hump.
Yeah.
Past the first, second round.
Yeah.
So we got Milwaukee and Brooklyn pretty much second and third. Charlotte, number 4 in the East, folks. Most people probably didn't know that. Most people didn't even know they were in the playoff race. Michael Jordan's Hornets are actually good for the first time in a very long time.
And they're still a young team. I still don't
very
think
young.
that they're.
And that Hayward deal actually has panned out for them. He's actually really good for that team. Leaving Boston, going to them. Terry Rozier's playing well still.
Yeah.
Very young team. LaMelo Ball obviously was playing really well before he went out. If they make the playoffs, LaMelo just had surgery. He could be back by the playoffs.
They're still too young. They're still too inexperienced. And the fact that they actually made the playoffs after all the long stint of them not making it is a huge step. I think you can congratulate the Charlotte Hornets for just doing that, but they're not going to win a first round or a second round playoff game with this young team. They are exciting, don't get me wrong, but they're not poised to go all the way to the Eastern.
And right now, a Charlotte first round would be, if playoffs started today, would be against the Miami Heat.
Now Miami wins that in 6. I'll give Charlotte 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah. New York Knicks are at 500 and they're 6th. Atlanta Hawks are at 500 and they're at 7. And the Boston Celtics, number 8.
Ooh.
Boston and Philly is a very interesting first round matchup if it stays in that position.
Boston's 8 right now.
Boston's 8 right now, and they're only half a game over Indiana, only a game and a half over Chicago, who just made a lot of moves for that playoff push.
To make a push.
Who falls out? I think Atlanta falls out of the playoffs, and you see Chicago or Indiana sneak in there.
I'm interested to see, you talk about the Hornets, I'm interested to see how they keep it going with Melo being down.
Because Charlotte could they could fall out of the playoffs.
It's very
they're 22
easy.
and 21.
A bad 10-day span.
Indiana's the 9th seed at 20 and 23.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not. There's not a lot of distance between number 4 and number 10 at all.
I think Indiana's done, and I think Chicago is on the up and up. I still don't think that. I mean, with this Atlanta team, I don't even see Atlanta dropping out of the playoffs. I think Atlanta stays.
Atlanta solid.
Stays right there.
I think they stay
because they win 2, lose 1 and a half.
And they picked up some scoring.
That is true. That is true. Now, but they really didn't need the scoring. They needed defense. Defense is really what they needed, truthfully. And you give up Rondo, but like you were saying earlier, I don't know if Rondo is necessarily the fit for them.
All right, real quick, NFL news. Texans were planning to trade Deshaun Watson. No, they weren't. That's why they put
allegations against Watson make it less likely they can make the trade.
If you don't think there's a lot of setups right here, bro, the lawyer for against Deshaun Watson is friends with the owner of the Texans. Listen, folks, and I'm not saying, listen, Watson might be guilty of some of this stuff in some ways, but 16 women.
Well,
and one was already like pretty much caught with trying to get paid off beforehand for consensual.
Stop it. Bro.
It's just the timing of everything is crazy, and they're trying to.
It sucks
trying to hurt his career.
Well, it sucks that we have to be in that kind of situation where you have to pick and choose when you believe.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, look, we all know how we feel about women on this show. We all know that we wish to always come forward, always
he said
stop. I hate you. But always come forward, always speaking their truth. But
the truth.
There are times where
especially with
people
high profile athletes
or people put themselves in positions, and again, like we've said, it just seems very fishy.
Yeah.
All this stuff. Deshaun Watson went from being a sterling person, not having any blemishes. And if you've seen his girlfriend, not to say that this is here or there.
I mean,
but,
he's been reaching out to Instagram.
my good. Well, all right, fair enough. If that's kind of
therapists
how
and
you're
stuff like that,
if you're
but-
living in that realm, I haven't seen any of the accused victims.
Yeah.
But if one of them comes in and she's a 3, I'm raising the flag.
Like all of Tiger Woods people in his phone
No,
book?
no, no.
Whoa.
He had a couple. He had a couple in there that
He
was.
had a couple 7s? Man,
No,
stop.
no. Listen. He had a couple 8s that could do something strange for a piece of change. Now let's
All right, let's
keep
go.
it a buck.
Let's go back to the NBA in the Western Conference standings. Utah number 1, Phoenix number 2. And Phoenix, let's talk about Phoenix for a little bit because we saw what they did in the bubble last year. We saw, they went 8-0, missed the playoffs because they were so bad, but in the bubble they just tore it up. Get Chris Paul, made some other moves, and they look really good right now. Number 2 seed, do they stay here? And once the playoffs come, what happens? And I know you got to bounce.
I do.
You looked at that big clock above my head.
I like that the clock is there now. I don't even have to check it out. I'm just like, oh, about that time.
So we're about to close
The
that.
clock also tells you the temperature outside.
Inside.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
I mean, wouldn't you rather know what it's like inside?
I mean, if it told me what to say, if it was like it's 105, like, oh man, I probably should take off my coat. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know why you're wearing a coat if it's 105.
You wear. Hey, listen, you will wear that
Not
coat
in the
It will
summer.
be- bro. You have that coat on. It
was like 80. It was like
112 outside.
No.
Like, it's cold. It's cold in here though. It's nice and nip. I got to keep the coat on.
But does Phoenix stay where they're at right now when they are a legit contender?
I don't think they're a legit contender. I think they needed to have made
Something.
one more move.
Yeah.
What do you feel they need? Maybe that's the better question.
Well, I think they needed some post presence. I think they need another big. And going
help
after,
Ayton.
going after a Andre Drummond or a LaMarcus Aldridge
Do you
or
feel like that-
They
somebody like
still
that.
can. They can.
Yeah, I was about to say. Do you
They
feel
can.
like that's a good spot for one of those
Bros,
guys?
yes.
Wow, that's
Because if you
interesting.
think
Could you
about
see
it,
LaMarcus
every big,
Aldridge there?
yes, because look at
That
every
would be-
big man that Chris Paul has played with. He has elevated
Oh, yeah.
their game.
always.
Listen, man, DeAndre Jordan got paid because of Chris Paul.
Amen. He got State Farm commercials because of Chris Paul.
Listen, man, we got the Clippers number 3. We already talked about this trade. What does it do for them?
Yeah.
Not sure. Lakers number 4, Denver number 5, who made some big deals. So I mean,
Yeah.
will that help them? Will that make them better?
We'll see.
Or do they just
it
stay in
makes
the
them
same
more
spot?
athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Portland number 6, which made some good moves.
And with CJ McCollum coming back.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, I mean they're slowly
And
rounding.
legit.
And does LaMarcus want to go back to Portland?
That would be a great move for him to go back to Portland.
I think it's over.
I
I
mean-
think you know what? Listen, he loved it there, but I think at this point now it's time to ring chase. I'm trying to go to my least path of resistance.
You got to take a top 3 team in the East.
You
or
have
West.
to. You have to because it just. I'm not going just for the sake of going. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this ring now.
Well, the
Dallas number 7, who just made a really good move, getting JJ Redick, and San Antonio right now number 8. I think San Antonio wants to drop out. To be honest,
Yes.
I think their pride and Greg Popovich's pride doesn't want them to. But you're letting LaMarcus Aldridge go for free.
Have you seen?
So you want to go? You want to get these draft picks. San Antonio was great for 30 years because of draft picks.
Yes.
And I'm surprised
And they
he's
build
still
off
there.
of draft picks.
Have you seen Popovich right now?
With
The way
mullet,
the way his hair is right now, the way he's
mullet.
set up, the way his life is set up, pride is not something he's.
Is this his last season?
He's a lifer to me personally, and when he's ready
So
to
he'll
shut
die
it
on the
down,
bench.
he
He'll look
might.
like Roy Williams.
He might, and when he shuts it down, he's handing it to Becky.
Roy
So
Williams died 3 times
he's-
one year.
He's giving it to Becky on the way out.
Beautiful.
So
DeMar DeRozan is still there. I'm really
Yeah, he is.
surprised.
he
that
is.
they didn't.
They,
didn't
they
try to
talked
get.
about trading him.
Surprised they didn't make a move.
Could that be another buyout?
Nah.
Nah.
Or is that
No.
too much money in buyouts?
Yeah, I don't even know if are you able to buy out multiple people in a season?
I'm not sure if you could buy out your whole
Yeah,
team.
yeah, you're gone. You're gone. We're done. So
Wow.
we'll see.
All right, man. A lot of moves being made. Dre, I appreciate you coming on with us,
All
man. We
day,
got to do it
baby
more
boy.
often, especially talking about the NBA.
Yeah.
A lot going on, man. So the NBA, it's funny. You don't even have to watch the NBA. You can still be excited with all the stuff that happens
Yes.
in and around the NBA season. So, man, we appreciate it. We will be back Monday. We'll be talking about UFC. We'll try to get a UFC fighter on the show Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou this weekend, this Saturday, heavyweight championship in the UFC. Who you got, Josh?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Stipe.
I was low
I'm
key.
on the fence.
I was low key leaning towards Francis because he is a lot better than their first fight. I rewatched their first fight last night.
Oh, I thought to do that.
And I got to go with Stipe because Francis was so gassed after the first round. I know his stamina probably is better. He did put hands on Stipe a couple times. Stipe had a black eye in the first round, but Stipe is underrated still as the champion. No matter how many times he gets the belt or retains the belt, he's just slept on, man. So I'm low key. I'm going with Stipe. I'm going to go with my heart and my mind. I'm going with Stipe. I want it to be a better fight than the first one, which it was a good fight, but it was one-sided for Stipe. Dre, who you got?
Bruce the
Jenner?
Barber Beefcake.
Get off.
Brutus.
Get off my
Brutus. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. There we go. Right here. We appreciate you guys for tuning in to Unnamed Sports Show. Check us out Monday, 2 p.m. West Coast time right here on Gorilla Cross Radio. Download the app, man. We appreciate all you guys tuning in. For Dre Bailey, Josh Williams, I'm Quan59, and we're outro. Peace.